Another one of my favorite recipes, a good one about this. Super simple, easy to make, it's healthy, and it tastes delicious. So checks all the boxes there. I'm going to be making pork with a Dijon sauce. Now my pork is pasture raised. That ensures that it has the quality, it's ethically raised, and also has that high quality protein that we want. So I've got a pan here, I've got an induction plate. These things are actually really handy. Obviously, it would have been a little awkward on the stove, but if you've never used one of these, they heat up really fast, they cool down, the outside of it doesn't get hot. They do make a little bit of noise, but I'm going to talk a little bit louder. So what you're going to do, you're going to take a pan and you're going to have a tablespoon of olive oil, get that to kind of a high heat, medium high heat, and then a tablespoon of melted butter. And we're just going to sear the pork chops. And like I said, this heats up really fast, so add the butter to it. And let that melt, and then I'm going to sear my pork cutlets. Now they've been dried up in salt and pepper. And you want to sear this for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Okay, and like I said, I've had these dry and I added salt and pepper to each side. So you're going to do 2 to 3 minutes. Just to give them a nice sear on each side. Now, you can overcomplicate this recipe, I feel like, because taking out the pork, putting it back in, having, especially when you're cooking with different ingredients, what I've chosen to do is I'm going to use the Instapot on high for about 10 minutes once I have these seared. That way it's going to make them, pork can be a little on the tougher side, but the Instapot is magic. It does not sear, but you can, it will cook it, and I'll have it, it came out really moist when I do it this way. So if you have one of these Instapots, like I said, they're super handy, and for this recipe, I choose to do it that way. You can cook all of this in a pan. After you sear it, you would just take it out, put it on a plate, and then you'd make your sauce. Okay, so my shallots are done. I got the wine in there. I'm going to add now my chicken stock, my Dijon mustard, which I really like the taste of Dijon. So you can use a tablespoon and a half, depending on your taste preference. I tend to go with a little bit more. There's that. And I put tarragon. Everyone says parsley, but if you've never used tarragon, it has a unique flavor. It tastes really well, and I think it goes great with this. So then I'm just going to whisk that around. I'm going to keep it on medium-high heat. I'm going to add in my heavy cream and about a half a cup. Okay. So like I said, I'm making my sauce. I am cooking the pork chops after I sear them in the Instapot. So I use the drippings from the pan that I seared it in. I added my white wine, a half a cup of white wine, dry wine, my a half a cup of chicken broth, and then I put 2 teaspoons of tarragon in there, and about a tablespoon and a half of Dijon mustard. So I'm going to allow that to thicken up over medium-high heat. Quite good. And then my pork should be done in just a few minutes. Okay, all right. Now my Instapot has gone off. I've vented it, so I'm going to take out my pork cutlets. I'm going to put them in the sauce. That has now thickened up to a nice consistency. And Remember what I did was I seared, yummy. I first seared the pork chop, dried them, salt and peppered them, seared them in the pan with olive oil and butter, and then transferred it to, obviously with the Instant Pot you have to have a little bit of liquid, so I use chicken broth for that. High heat for 10 minutes, and that was plenty to cook these. And then I'm just going to drizzle my sauce over my pork chops because it looks so pretty. And there you have it. Pork. Bring the camera over here. Pork with Dijon cream. And like I said, it's simple to make, it's super healthy, it tastes great, and pretty, it's not complicated, and super healthy. And we know, as runners, we need protein. Protein is king. Remember, when you're getting high quality protein, this is pasture-raised pork. You want that with your chicken also, and with your eggs. Pasture-raised is what it needs to say. And then if you're doing, you could do this also with beef. You can do this also with chicken, depending on what your preference is. And then you can substitute out. If you don't use wine, you can just use, you would add more chicken broth to it. But hope you like this. I know we're going to enjoy this tonight, but have an awesome Saturday, and we'll see you next week.